matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby.
Remember the day I set you free. I told you.
Thank you. Hello, Tucson. We love you too. Tucson. It is, thank you. It is so great to have Governor Walz here in our city just 3 days before a critical election. So folks, Gabby and I played rock, paper, scissors to see who could speak first. Guess who won? My wife, the woman who inspires me every single day to never give up, Gabby Giffords.
Hello, fellow Americans! I'm Gabby Giffords. I was born in the great state of Arizona. I was born with grit. I grew up racing motorcycles, mucking stalls, and exploring the beautiful desert. I fell for an astronaut. For 5 years, I served in Congress from a swing district. Everybody called me a rising star. Then on January 8th, 2011, a man tried to assassinate me. He shot 19 people. He killed 6. Terrible, terrible day. I almost died, but I fought for my life and I survived. Woo! I learned to walk again one step at a time. I learned to talk again one word at a time. So many people helped me as I worked hard to recover, including a decent man for Delaware who always checked in on me. He still does. Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you for everything. Joe is a great president. My friend Kamala will be a great, 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 great president. She is tough. She has grit. Kamala can beat the gun lobby. She can fight gun trafficking. Kamala stood up to Wall Street and the drug companies. She will protect abortion access. She will defend our freedom. She will save lives. Join me in voting for Kamala Harris. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, everybody. So, Gabby and I don't have to tell you about the stark choice that we face in this election. Donald Trump is that... Okay, I'm going to say Donald Trump again at some other point here. I'm just preparing you. So Donald Trump, he wants a national abortion ban. Kamala Harris will restore the freedoms and protections of Roe v. Wade. Donald Trump wants another tax giveaway for billionaires and tariffs that are going to jack up costs for Arizona families by $4,000 a year. And did you hear the latest? So here's the latest thing. About a week ago, Donald Trump, and now just yesterday, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson, they have said that given the chance, they are going after the CHIPS and Science Act that is bringing, get this, folks, this is bringing billions of dollars of investments and tens of thousands of jobs to our state. They're going to take that away. So that's what they're focused on. Kamala Harris is focused on lowering housing and prescription drug costs. She is focused on cutting taxes for the middle class and bringing manufacturing jobs back to our communities, not taking them away. And folks, it's because of one reason. Donald Trump has never served anybody but Donald Trump. And on the other hand, Kamala Harris has been a prosecutor, an attorney general, a U.S. senator, and a vice president, and now she is ready to be the president of the United States for all Americans. So, folks, how do we send Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House and Ruben Gallego to the United States Senate? Folks, it is that, and it is other things. But I'll tell you what it isn't. It is not rocket science. If it was, I could help with that too. But now, 3 days before this election, it is all about which campaign works harder. It's that simple. Yes. What she said. First order of business, vote. And vote as soon as you can. Early votes, then we don't have to worry about them. So I want everybody here, when you get done, when we get done with this event, I want you to head to iwillvote.com to find voting locations and make your plan to vote. Next, do not leave today. Do not leave this rally without signing up for a volunteer shift. It is very important. So for those of you here in person, find a volunteer here on site and sign up. We need more volunteers, even though we have 130,000 of them in our state. Like just about everything, more is better. And for those of you at home, head to go.kamalaharris.com to get involved. I'm going to say that again. Go.kamalaharris.com. And you'll find out how you can get involved. There is nothing more important right now than doing this. This community here in Tucson, in Pima County, we have the power to decide who the next president of the United States will be. So if we work harder than those other guys, in 3 days, just 3 days, we will turn the page and move our country forward. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no.
Please welcome first-time voter Orlando Chavez.
Dos te quieren probar. Lo que no saben es que no te dejas llevar de cualquiera. Y todos te quieren probar. Lo que no saben es que hoy yo te voy a buscar.
everybody. How are we feeling today? Woo! My name's Rolando Chavez, and I'm honored to stand here today in support of Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz. How are we feeling about them today, guys? I was born and raised right here in Tucson, Arizona. I went to Miles ELC from kindergarten to 8th grade. Then I went to Tucson High, where I graduated last year. Let's go Badgers, guys. Now I'm a proud student at the University of Arizona, working toward my criminal justice degree with hopes to be a U.S. Marshal. Arizona has always been my home, and I've never felt more inspired by the energy that's sweeping through our state. People are fired up to support Vice President Harris and Governor Walz in this election. That's why for the first time ever, I'm casting my vote for them. This is more than a campaign. It's a movement bringing people together from all different walks of life. To make our voices heard, everyone here needs to help. These last 3 days are crucial, so please knock on doors, make calls, and mobilize your neighbors because we believe in this for a better future. Vice President Harris is ready to lead. She has the experience, the strength, and the conviction to protect our freedoms and our democracy. Governor Tim Walz shares the same passion. As a teacher, coach, and a veteran, he's delivered working class families just like the ones I grew up here in Tucson. Together, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are ready to fight for what matters most: protecting our freedoms, securing our futures, and delivering results for all Americans. I'm proud to support them, and I'm asking everyone here to join me. Let's make sure Arizona is on board. Let's make history together, guys. All right, is everybody ready? And without further ado, please join me in welcoming our next Vice President of the United States of America, Governor Tim Walz.
I was born in a small town, and I live in a small town. Every day in a small town, oh, small communities. All my friends, it's a small town. Wow, my parents live in the same small town.
Wow. Well, it's good to be back in Tucson. Can we just all agree that our future is bright with leadership like Orlando? Give him a big shout out. Truly grateful. Also, it's a privilege to be here with someone I went into the 2006 class of the United States Congress with Gabby Giffords. And Gabby Giffords is saving lives across this country, the work she's doing, and we owe her a deep debt of gratitude. Good to be back with Senator Mark Kelly. This guy has had one day off in the last 9 weeks. He is out there across the country doing this. Last Saturday, I had the privilege to be with him at Window Rock and an invitation to be on the Navajo Nation, and I am grateful for that. Glad to be on a ticket with Vice President Harris and myself, who understand that tribal sovereignty is the law of the land, and to honor that self-determination is a core principle. I think you saw him earlier. Another guy got to serve in Congress, but I want to be very clear. Whether it was helping get the Affordable Care Act passed through Congress or protecting our health every day, Javier Becerra is a champion of the health of this country. And I saved my final thanks. I'm a Minnesotan. It snowed this weekend, people, so you know. So I'm sitting here thinking it is Saturday afternoon on a beautiful day, and you came here because you love America. Thank you. And as Bruce Springsteen always says, it ain't no sin to be glad you're alive. I'm glad you're all here. Well done, people. Well, not that anybody's counting, folks, but we got 3 days to an election. 3 days to make an impact, not just on the next 4 years, but on the next 40 years. Not just for us, but on future generations. Not just for this country, but for the world. And here's the good news. We're winning. We're winning. Now notice I didn't say we've won, because there's work to do. It may be hard for a group of you who came here today to believe it, but there's still some folks aren't quite sure what they're going to do in this election. Now, some of them, you've talked to them, they're friends, neighbors, family members, and they tell you this. They're speaking honestly. Well, you know, I really don't like Donald Trump's personality and the stuff he does. And you're like, oh, no shit. Yeah, I understand why you wouldn't. But then they say, but I liked his economy that he had. That's the point. It's a little bit hazy. People get busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. So let's just level set what the Donald Trump economy looked like. 2.7 million jobs lost. Unemployment up. And the way he botched the COVID pandemic, tens of thousands of Americans died unnecessarily. The rest of us were out there in battles to try and find hand sanitizer and toilet paper, is how bad things got. So if you think back, that economy that they liked, if you were a billionaire or a millionaire, you might have liked it because you got a tax cut. The rest of us got squat during that time because that's how Donald Trump thinks. He doesn't spend time thinking about ways to improve your life. In fact, he doesn't spend any time thinking about you. I saw something every day with this guy, but I saw something that was very telling. You know, on your phone, you got your lock screen where your puppy's on there, or your kids, or your car for some of us, I'll admit, you know, you get that on there. Not Donald Trump. He's got a picture of himself on there. It's true. That ought to tell you where he's at. Now, look, I understand 72 hours is going to have a big impact. We've got work to do yet. This thing is not decided. It's going to be close. You know it better than anybody. This thing very well could be won in the state of Arizona. So if you're stressed and you turn it on and you're on the polar coaster, oh, we're winning, oh, we're losing, oh, we're winning, or you're getting the 15,000 emails to send money and things, do some of those. You don't have to do them all, but give on some of those. But the remedy to this is very simple. Go out and vote for Kamala Harris for president. These guys know the assignment. They know the assignment. Look, how many of you have voted? All right, it works wonders. And if you voted, you need to take somebody else. And instead of wringing your hands, ring the doorbells. Ring the doorbells to people. Pick up the phone and call some people. Look, we've got a golden opportunity here to turn the page on Donald Trump. There's lots of reasons to win this, but be honest, each of you. It's not petty. Just be honest with yourself. How damn happy will you be and how good will it feel to turn on your TV and not see this guy again? And just not see this guy again. And how great will the alternative be when we have a new generation of leadership in a President Kamala Harris? Look, it's about getting things done. Here in Arizona, created 370,000 jobs under the Biden-Harris administration. She's offering a new way forward. And you saw it, and the world saw it on Tuesday night. That is how a president talks standing in the ellipse on the National Mall. She talked about being a president for all. She talked about bringing in different voices. And she said on the first day in the White House, she will go in there with a to-do list to improve your lives, not an enemies list to go after those who disagree. And right off the top, she said it. lowering the cost of living and putting more money back into the pockets of middle-class people. That is the goal. She talked about, and some of you have heard this, enact the first federal price gouging ban. Now, the teacher in me can't pass up an opportunity to explain why that means. 37 states have this. Let me give you a couple examples. I was with a farmer the other day in Erie, Pennsylvania, grows corn, potatoes, and has some cattle. And I asked him, I said, so what are you getting for a bushel of corn these days? And he said, oh, about $4.10 a bushel. And I said, so when grocery prices were cheaper, what were you getting for a bushel of corn? About $4.10. The farmers aren't making the money in this. You're paying more. And the only thing that changed in this equation was corporate profits are at a record high. That's what price gouging looks like. Now, another example happened when we had a Hurricane Helene coming in. And they put out notice to people in the Southeast, especially in Florida, you should leave as quickly as you can. Wow, it was really weird because right after they said that, airline prices went through the roof. That's not capitalism, that's unethical. And this is what a ban on corporate price gouging stops. And let's be clear, 100 million Americans will see a tax cut under a President Harris's plan, specifically focused on a child tax credit, $6,000 to families in that child's first year of life. When we did that during the COVID pandemic, we reduced childhood poverty by half, the greatest reduction in American history. This is the surest and the best way to reduce childhood poverty and get our children off to a good start. That's what we'll do. And it was Kamala Harris that made sure our seniors, that they capped the price of a month's worth of insulin at $35. This is my third lesson on price gouging. She wants to extend that to all Americans, and the reason is we did it in Minnesota because we had a young man named Alex Smith, and Alex turned 26. He aged off his parents' insurance. He started rationing his insulin, and he died. His mom, Nicole, came to the Capitol in St. Paul and said no family should ever have to go through this grief again. And she helped us pass a cap of $35 on insulin for everybody in Minnesota. Kamala wants to extend that across the country, but let me give you the last closer on that. Before we put that cap on there, pharmaceutical companies were charging up to $800 for that vial of insulin. And the real reason to boo is it costs $5 to manufacture. Look, these are things we can do to improve people's lives. Kamala put out a plan that those of you, the older folks in here, you'll get it. If you're young, trust me, you don't spend a lot of time thinking about Medicare, but when you turn 60, you start thinking about it about half the day. Medicare and Social Security are two of the best anti-poverty programs we've ever developed in this country. They're critical. And we can make them better by having Medicare pay for home health care and keep our seniors and our parents in their homes longer. The seniors will tell you this too. Medicare today doesn't pay for vision or hearing. We'll make sure under Kamala's plan that you can get your glasses and your hearing aids if you need them under Medicare. My nearly 90-year-old mom got her hearing aids a few years ago. She's a hell of a lot more fun now that she can hear us, so it's a lot better. And this idea of home ownership. Home ownership is generational wealth for us. It's the most important thing that we buy. It provides security for our families, but we know how difficult it is. Vice President Harris has proposed not only creating 3 million more new units of affordable housing, but making sure everybody has access to a $25,000 down payment assistance help. That gets you in the door. You want to start a small business? The average small business costs about $40,000 to get off the ground to have your American dream. We give a $5,000 tax credit right now for that. That's not enough. Kamala Harris is proposing a $50,000 tax credit to small business owners to get them off the ground. Now, that's a bit of our plan, and it's not a concept of a plan, it's a real plan. And when asked, How will we pay for this? For starters, we can have Donald Trump pay his federal tax for a change. This is how you enhance the middle class. This is how you grow the economy. This is how, what we say in Minnesota, the economy works best when you think about it this way. We all do better when we all do better. It's as simple as that. Now, not everybody thinks that way. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, they've got a little bit different plan. And it is a little more than a concept of a plan because they took the time to put it in a 900-page book. It's called Project 2025. They are like, what is that? I've never heard of it. You know how they do that? When everybody found out how crappy it was, they're like, oh, don't know them. Don't know, never seen them. That's, whatever it was. They know exactly what they did. I coached football long enough to know you draw up a playbook, you're going to run the plays that are in it. And this playbook is a damn nightmare for the middle class. Here's just a couple things. The first thing they're going to do is repeal two of the best job creators and modernization programs we've seen in a generation. The bipartisan infrastructure law that invested in America and the Inflation Reduction Act that moves us towards a clean energy economy and innovation for the future. Those are hundreds of thousands of jobs, good paying union jobs across this country that sustain families. They want to repeal them. Now, you would have thought, and here's nearly 80 years on Earth, and being this genius, what do you call himself, a stable genius, and he went to the Wharton School, which is what he tells us, you would have thought he would have learned what a damn tariff was by now. Because Donald Trump is out there saying, oh, we'll put a tariff on all this stuff, and the Chinese will pay for it. No one buys that. Because what we know and the economists know is when you put a tariff on it, and companies like Back & Decker and Columbia and others said this week, we will simply raise prices. You will end up paying 20% more or $4,000 a year. That's what it'll mean. So look, I think especially here in Arizona, you remember when the Republican Party used to talk about freedom, they meant it. This guy is not John McCain's Republican Party. He is not. He means government should have the freedom to be in your exam room, to be in your bedroom, to tell you what books to read and make those decisions. You know what it was, and we've said it. If they just mind their own damn business, we'll mind our own damn business. And that's the way this works. Kamala has been clear. When she and I talk about freedom, we mean people should be free to make these decisions, not politicians. No politicians, especially Donald Trump. Freedom means that seniors should be free. Here that they're getting it. For a moment, just think about those women in your life who you love, your mother, sister, partners, wives, neighbors, those people, daughters that we all have. Think about them. Think about them in your life. Because of what Donald Trump did, he appointed 3 Supreme Court justices who took away 52 years of protections so that those women in your life now have fewer rights than their mothers and grandmothers had. He brags about it. 20 states now have Trump abortion bans, including Arizona. He's just getting started because this week he told us he would appoint RFK Jr. to be in charge of women's health. He said, Donald said that if you're a woman, he'll be your protector. He can't even open the door of a garbage truck, let alone do this. But look, the one thing is, if this guy were a comedian or he were a stand-up comic or something, it might be marginally funny. But because he could be president of the United States again, it's deathly serious. And he added to the women after he told you to be the protector, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. Now, and here's what we're seeing. Women are turned away from emergency rooms and miscarrying in parking lots, whether they like it or not. Survivors of rape are being forced to carry those pregnancies to term, whether they like it or not. Fertility clinics have turned couples away at the door, whether they like it or not. For so many of us, me included, this is personal. Gwen and I spoke about our struggles with infertility. It was because of those fertility treatments that we were able to have our beautiful family. And I will be damned if anyone in this country should be denied the opportunity that we had. So when we win back the House of Representatives, and Arizona elects Ruben Gallego to the Senate, and we pass the restoration of reproductive freedoms, President Harris will sign it into law. Some of this stuff is pretty simple. The mind your own damn business. We all do better and we all do better. The other one is Kamala and I have a pretty simple principle here. We simply trust women. And that fixes a lot of it. Now, and I'll tell you what, I also have a feeling that all across this country, every age, every background, every political party, that those women are going to send a loud and clear message to Donald Trump on November 5th. Whether he likes it or not. We're not going back. Arizona, I'm here on behalf of Kamala Harris and myself to humbly ask you for your vote and the work over the next 72 hours to get this done. 72 hours, but here's the deal. Momentum is on our side, but we take nothing for granted. Nothing for granted. And being in this setting in a high school, I'm not going to pass this up. Here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal, folks. 2 minutes left in this game. We got the damn ball. We got the best quarterback on the field in Kamala Harris. We all know there'll be plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. Not now. Not now. We know in Arizona, a vote or two per precinct could be what it takes to win the whole damn race for the country. And all of you, the older folks will get this, younger folks, trust me, there'll come a day. Someday you're going to be sitting on that porch. You're going to be in that rocking chair. And a little one's going to come up to you after been in school where they've been studying the 2024 election. And they're going to ask, when everything was on the line and the American experiment was on the line, and there was somebody running, vote.com/AZ to find your polling place. When can you ever imagine having 75 hours to make an impact on the planet for generations to come? To make an impact, to uphold decency and kindness and show grace to your neighbors. When can we tackle our biggest problems? Income inequality, making sure women have reproductive rights and autonomy over their own bodies, and addressing things like climate change. It's ours to do. We're going to vote. We're going to win, but I'm going to ask you this. Arizona, win this thing for America. Let's go. Let's go.